For some reason, when I started this LP, I thought it would be cooler to save this final room for the final video. I'm not so sure anymore now whether that was a good idea, but anyway, there's one room in the mansion that we haven't looked at yet, and it's a whole conservatory with a big telescope, and it's where the final bit of puzzle in the mansion is.
Dear Alexandra, if you are reading this, Alex, then I am surely dead. Knowing that the police will contact my only living relative, I made sure to leave this message for you. As I write this letter, Pius Augustus is waiting for his chance to strike me down for what I have done to the Guardian City. I believe I have slowed Augustus's plans, but not stopped them completely. He will still try to bring his ancient into this world. You must continue what our ancestor Max has started. You must gather the artifacts and call forth an ancient to combat what Augustus brings into this world. Of the artifacts, there are 4, but one of these is in the clutches of Pius himself. They are the Black Heart of Mantarok, the Claw of Chattur'gha, the Sigil of Xel'lotath, the Veil of Ulyaoth. Your skill in the arcane science will not be as strong as Pius's, who has had 2 millennium to prepare his gate. You will need all the remaining artifacts to match his power. It all rests with you, my dear. I wish you well in this desperate act. I wish I had more guidance for you, but I am at my wit's end, and I feel I am running out of time. Your loving grandfather, Edward.
I don't know. I mean, I think everything's better when it's more like Cthulhu. Like, I have a problem. It was... God, there was something I was thinking about, and I was just like, oh, that would be so cool if it were, like, Lovecraft-inspired instead. And I can't, for the life of me, remember.
What?
No.
A show?
I can't remember what it is. I'll think about it. Anyway, so, yeah, the Heart of Mantarok that Lindsay found is just hiding behind this book in the library.
Seems like a legit safe hiding spot.
Totally! Behind the conspicuous book and everything. But anyway, so you can collect that as soon as you finish Lindsay's chapter. I just haven't bothered. Oh God. Someone's at the door. And they don't bother to say hello. They just, I guess the door is unlocked somehow, and they just
leave the
drop the
package
package.
You just got a massive package.
God damn it. Classy.
Look, what can I say? If you choose to follow in the ways of David Bowie...
Yeah.
Anyways, the essence of Ulyaoth is in there, and the enchanted gladius, which Alex can use.
I wonder who sent that
She
to her.
is... I wonder. Well, there was sort of... You know, it is implied that Mike doesn't have very long to live after the whole thing where he, gives the package to Edward at the end of the last chapter, but I'm not sure what we're supposed to gather. Since he gave it to Edward, did Edward just arrange for it to be mailed to his own house?
After he died.
Yeah, like on the day of the planetary alignment? Did he just think everything out really thoroughly? I don't know.
There's the possibility.
I mean, I guess that's what we're supposed to think. Anyway, Alex can use the Enchanted Gladius. She is the Guardian of Light. And so, yep. Anyway, so yeah, here's the final puzzle. In the conservatory with all the things. You just need to... There's the light that's coming in through the telescope, and you need to redirect it in such a way as to make it hit that little orb on that globe in the middle of the ground. floor. We're not outside.
Well, I mean, we could be, but
Well, I mean, we're not though. We're in the house. Yes, we are also not outside at this moment. Listeners.
Know that, Alex. Shh. Don't give our location away.
Oh God. Anyway. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop. There we go.
is there some other thing you need to...
Yeah, there's the 3 different crankshaft
I see.
stations, and then you use it to manipulate the light.
I see.
And when you do...
Yes.
it opens the hole in the ground. And now the path to Xel'lotath is open. So let's go! Let's go to the spooky place.
Who wants to
And
go
let's
down
fade
into the hole?
straight to the basement, because really... because I really tried to cut out as much of the redundant walking around in this chapter as possible. I gotta say,
Well, it could...
the final boss is good, but the lead up to it is a little slow. Especially because, as you'll see, like, we'll run into a few enemies, but not a lot. Like, so it doesn't feel very climactic. I mean, because Xel'lotath is all ruined because Edward, magically nuked it, and so, most of the critters are gone. But I don't know, there could have been a way to build up better the final boss, I guess. But, whatever. I don't get paid to make video games, so what do I know?
That would be cool if we all got paid to make video games.
One day. That's the dream.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sure. Of course.
Alright, so we're in this hallway again, but this time the hallway's different because it has a big, giant damage floor on it, and that's a pain in the ass, because you need to shield yourself. Because, once again, just like with Edward, we're gonna, go to the 9 towers and, and cast a giant 9-point spell, and we're gonna have to walk through this hallway a lot of times, and we're gonna have to keep casting shields on yourself in order to... I mean, you viewers don't have to worry about that because I'm cutting that shit out. Because otherwise this video would be over an hour, and I'm very proud that I got it down to half an hour.
That's impressive.
Go, Alex.
The force is strong with this one.
Just cut out the unnecessary bits. Yeah, and there's a big old barrier right in front of the door, just to be really unhelpful. Alright, so we're in the room, but the portal thing doesn't work yet. So first what we need to do, you see one of the plinths there is missing the podium is missing its platform. So we just collect these 2 bits, the bits of the pedestal, and we combine them and enchant them so that they're fixed, and then we put it on the pedestal, and then we put each of the 3. We found the essence of Chattur'gha was in the safe, the essence of Mantarok was behind the book, and the essence of Xel'lotath was in the package.
How do you know which goes where?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, you just put one of them on each of the podiums. And now we can use the portal.
Stargate?
A little bit, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna just skip a lot of this. So the short version is going in a counterclockwise fashion, I'm just gonna cut out all the bits of travel in between, and there will just be little text boxes saying, you know, after this one, there will just be little text boxes like that, saying what the rune that you have to put in is. And it's basically, it's just a giant summon creature spell. Because, you know, we know that Pius is, you know, gonna summon Xel'lotath, so we need to summon Chattur'gha to fight it. More Pokemon jokes. The Pokemon jokes just don't stop. It's just not, nope. So this is another bind puzzle, except this time there's 3 horrors, so you need to cast the bind spell twice. Whatever. It's, you know, otherwise it's pretty much the same. You can cast the bind spell on, like, other... Oh, yeah, by the way, one-shot kill. Oh, yeah! You can cast the bind spell on any kind of enemy, and it just makes them attack the closest other enemy to them. So, it's not terribly, it's not terribly dynamic to look at. More damage 4s. Joy Rapture.
The floors actually did this.
Well. Then you're
Floor
just
is
playing a
lava.
big... Yeah, I was gonna say, the floor is lava.
I've prepared for
The
this
floor is
my entire
lasers.
life.
Prepared to play thoroughly.
Really, what you're saying is that we need to, if we encounter a place like this, we just need to go there with Abed.
Yeah. We need to go there with rolly chairs. I would love to death if, like, there was... If there was a way to... like, if you could solve a puzzle like this by just having a rolly chair. I'd completely kill the mood, but I don't care.
It would be glorious and wonderful.
I think it'd be cool.
It would.
Anyway, so there's a big barrier in the way. And there's 3 pedestals. Just cast 1 magical attack spell. Even if it's just a 3-point spell, 1 of each of the points will go to each statue,
Okay.
and it will deactivate the barrier. That's it. Yeah, there's a couple. It's most of Alex's level is just, you know, is sort of revisiting the same rooms as Edward, but with different
With
puzzles.
awesome spell work.
Yes, and with cool spells. But there's not a lot of combat. Like there's a few enemies, but it's mostly just trappers, like those annoying bastards right there. Because I mean, the idea is that like the colony was decimated, and so like it started to repopulate a little bit, but you know, there are fewer monsters here now. Here's the room full of invisible trappers. In order to see them, you gotta cast the reveal invisible spell for downward alignment. Also, you can't shoot them from down in this recessed area, which I completely forgot when I recorded this footage.
Well, you learned.
She doesn't know how to lift the gun a little bit higher?
You'd think it wouldn't be that difficult, but whatever. And whatever, that room leads back, same as the other. Same as we saw the last time. There's like, you know, 4 different pathways that go through this same room. Here's one of the neat puzzle. Okay, so when we were here as Edward, it just played a cutscene where the worm came out and it blasted him and everything turned sepia toned. And he just, in the cutscene, drank from the liquid courage, and it made everything better. That's a hint of how to solve it this time. And this time, the only way you can pass is if you cast a recovering sanity move. And that's the only way to break out of the sepia tone, because you can't proceed anywhere while you're in the sepia tone world. And the only way to keep the worm from coming out and blasting you with the sandy attack again is to tiptoe across the glowing purple floor.
Excellent.
So,
Tiptoe.
slink. So you get to see some of Alex's slick moves again. Here's the other neat puzzle. So last time we lowered the force field that kept the monsters inside their inside those cages. Well, now in order to proceed, we have to put the same kind of monsters back. So you just look at the symbols carved by the portals, and you just summon one of each of the different kinds of creatures, and just have them step on the platform. And so they go back in the cage, and then you can proceed. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's a neat. I mean, it's pretty simple, but like that's all right. The horror one is kind of obnoxious though, because if you're standing too close to the platform on this walkway, when you try to summon it like I do here, it will the horror will summon behind you, and so you have to sort of
Run.
You just have to try to maneuver it around the force field that's surrounding Alex, because it would, I guess it would just mess with the code if it spawned in front of you in a place where it would be automatically teleported into the cage, I guess. I don't know. I'm not proud of how many times I get caught by trappers in this video. I'm not proud, but there it is. I get impatient. Played this game so many damn times that I just get impatient.
Well, it happens.
Yeah. This is an invisible platform. Reveal invisible. This one's a little weird at first, because it's just kind of a gap, and you're like, where do I go? And so you just need to remember, the 2 times previously in the game that you had to summon, you had to reveal invisible in order to summon to create a platform where there is none. So there are all of the runes. Alright, we are ready to summon our bigger fish.
Yes.
And of course,
Save.
as is custom, yes, it gives you a save prompt before the final boss.
Miss Roivas, you're just in time. The summoning spell I began 2,000 years ago is finally complete. You will now have the honor of becoming the first morsel for my lady Xel'lotath. An appetizer for the banquet your race shall provide.
You forget what it means to be human, Pious. The human race will never go quietly into the darkness. For as long as you have spent summoning your lord, people have struggled against you. Now, thanks to their efforts, I have 3 of the Ancient's essences. Now, Pious, this is the end.
The end indeed.
Alright. He's putting a shield around the essence of Xel'lotath. Every time you hit him, it causes the essence to appear. The first part of this fight, what you have to do is you actually have to drain your own sanity by hitting... Oh, by the way, you can throw the Gladius!
Yes.
That was what I just did there. You can just straight chuck it at Pius, and it's but only the Enchanted Gladius. That's why the Enchanted Gladius is better. But anyway, so you have to drain your own sanity by hitting the essence enough times, and it will drain your sanity, and then you can move on to the next phase of the fight. And now the ghosts come to help.
Screaming floor.
Yep. So now you alternate control between each of the ghosts of the heroes past and Alex. And what you need to... What this part of the fight is about, hitting the... striking the essence once with each of the ghosts. The only real problem with this is that if you have to hit it once as Alex in between each ghost, and like there, if Pius lands an attack on you when you're in ghost form in any way, yeah, you revert back to Alex, and so you have to go through that part of the cycle, and again. So now you have to redo the hit as Alex, and then change back into the ghost, and then you have to do it all over again. And god damn it, that is the third time. One of the dangers about this final battle is, I mean, first of all, when you're playing as slow characters like Max right there, it's just a pain in the ass because it's hard to it's hard to time it so that Pius doesn't hit you before you hit the essence. Especially because this is such a narrow playing field.
Right.
Like, it bottlenecks in the middle. Like, there's two broad platforms, but it bottlenecks in the middle. So, being on the run can be a bit of a pain in the ass. Especially when you're playing as one of the slower characters. And the thing is also, as Alex, you can pause the game, you can cast spells, you can do whatever, but when you're in ghost form, you can't. Like, you just have to, run. Also, this music is boss as hell.
So much.
Final stage of the battle where it's just about whittling down Pius's health. And he has spells. He can shield himself. He can create barriers, which is really obnoxious if he creates a field in the middle of the in the bottlenecked area, because that makes the playing room that you have to run away from him.
Even smaller.
Yeah. He can do magical attacks. He can whack you with his staff. If he gets you down to dangerously low health like this, the thing is, if he gets you to low enough health where where you slow down, which you do after, I forget what percentage health, you just start, your walking speed slows down, it's really hard to get enough distance away from him in order to heal yourself. So you really need to play defensive on that, or else you die.
Fool! I spit at thee! The darkness shall be eternal!
But if you play smart, you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about getting yourself a game over. And especially with the Enchanted Gladius, you can just keep your distance from him and just chuck the sword at him for all it's worth. And when he gets low on health, he slows down too, which makes it easier, like if you're on the last legs, it's, you know, makes it easier to play safe, you know, to put distance between you and him. But yeah, as long as you're, you know, out of striking distance, anytime you hit the attack button, you will just chuck the sword at him. And he goes down.
Darkness is not so easily destroyed. No, my death is just the beginning.
What have I done?
Quickly, Alex! We must find this creature! It cannot be allowed to remain in this universe!
Final bit of gameplay, just pick the right rune. In this case, it's Protect.
Ah, that's the ticket. It is finally over, my dear. The Ancients' plans are finished. For now, at least. You have proved to be an incredibly courageous young woman. Your mother and father would have been proud of you, just as I am. I'm sorry it had to be like this. It's not quite the inheritance I had in mind for you, but there was so little time, and so much to do. Goodbye, Alex. I will miss you.
as I gazed up at the ancient I had brought into this world to stop Pius, my mistake was made clear. This ancient could lay the world to ruin just as easily as Pius's would have. And yet, as quickly as it began, it ended. To think that once I could not see beyond the veil of reality, to see those who dwell behind. I was once a fool.
Once you beat the game once in one alignment, you're asked if you want to save your progress. Like this. And what this does is that it records how many alignments you've beaten it under.